always keep your hand behind and your head on the other side. Just dive through. Because he squashes his elbow to the other side.
Alright, move it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Alright. I'm just waiting for the other gentleman to show up to be my dummy. Oh, anyway. Okay, so we'll do a little kind of stand-up / wrestling introduction. I think obviously it's like a well-known thing that stand-up stand-up wrestling is kind of neglected a little bit in jiu-jitsu because you can always just pull guard, but in competition at least, if you ever have to fight for your life or something, you might not want to pull guard. I hope we never have to fight for lives, but I mean, at least my interest in jiu-jitsu is I love the competition aspect, and I kind of dived into that for many years. I started out as a teenager who wanted to learn how to fight, and then I realized I'm never going to fight anyone, so that's kind of stupid. that was when competition started to get interesting, and then at least I think when I'm teaching in my gym at home, I want people to be able to grapple in all situations, like gi, no gi, or competition, point specific, or self-defense, or I don't know, on the beach or something, you know, with boots, without boots, with jackets. Even with my kids team I had in my old gym, we had in the winter, we had once a month we were grappling with like winter jackets, just for the fun of it. Not that I want them to fight anyone in jackets, but just for the aspect of mixing it up a little bit, so it's not all just one kind of little niche of grappling. So I kind of like the broad aspect, and I think with that mindset, you have to learn to wrestle standing up. There's no way around it. And obviously, it's easy to skip in jiu-jitsu because you can just sit on your butt, and that's kind of it. That kind of skips the entire stand-up game. But I think it's still a valuable skills to have for all kinds of reasons. As I said, if you ever need jiu-jitsu for self-defense, it's kind of nice to know something else than just pulling half guard. I mean, we're probably not ever going to fight anyone, but you never know. Or just grapple drunk friends. You know, it's very nice to have some good stand-up wrestling to control them without injuring anyone or injuring yourself. That's, by the way, a class I do at some camps. How to safely grapple drunk friends. It's something I have a lot of experience. There's a lot to it. There's more than you would think, but it's a lot about don't drop your knees, don't throw them in a way where they might post their hand wrong or stuff like that. So make it look good so others can see, you get high fives at the bar and stuff. Anyway, so I think stand-up wrestling is important, and it's kind of neglected. So it's something that I always put people through in my classes at home. And I have kind of an introduction class that I do for everyone just to get the real basics down. And that's pretty much what I'm going to run through today. So it's just absolute basic mechanics and positioning standing up, which I think is going to build a strong foundation for anything you want to do. It's a little bit like if you try to teach someone jiu-jitsu and you show them, I don't know, a rear naked choke or a kimura before you tell them what the guard or the back mount is. Right? I mean, you need a solid positional foundation before you can pull off anything. And the same goes for standing up. The usual way of doing jiu-jitsu is like you train a lot of ground stuff, and then maybe a few weeks before the competition you start to practice, I don't know, someone shows you a double leg. And then the competition starts like, just go for that fucking double leg, take it down. And you have no idea how to do it because again, it's like jumping for a rear naked choke without ever knowing how to take the back. Right? So the positional game standing up is the same foundation you need as a positional game on the ground. And as you get more comfortable in it, that's going to help you in a lot of other situations, like sweeping. Like where your guard ends is where the wrestling starts. If you sweep so a beginner, it might look like so the sweep is like, and they fall and you get on top. But as they start to scramble a little bit, you usually get half a sweep. And when the sweep doesn't work anymore, you wrestle for the takedown, right? You go straight into single legs, double legs, body locks, run around the back, all that stuff. So, and the same if you're standing up in someone's guard and they start to sweep you, as soon as you almost fall, you're not doing jiu-jitsu anymore, you're fighting for top. And that's just basic wrestling. So there's a lot of important skills in it. So at least that's my philosophy about it. And sometimes you just only want to do, I don't know, points jiu-jitsu, or you don't care about it, that's totally fine. Or you just like to play guard. I actually stopped wrestling for many years because I had a back injury, or at least I had to change it up a lot. So I couldn't really lift anything, and I think that also helped me a lot in understanding the mechanics of really doing it efficiently. Because I started out when I was young and strong, and I loved to lift heavy stuff and like dunk people on their head. And I thought that's what stand-up is. Like you lift someone and you drop them on the floor until I kind of came in a situation where I had the back injury and I couldn't lift anyone anymore. So I had to kind of reinvent, or at least rediscover what I guess all the old wrestling guys knew, that it's actually possible to be efficient standing up, precision-wise and takedown-wise, just as you can on the ground. Right? So what we're going to do today is just a basic introduction to the like a few simple principles of the stand-up positioning, and just the basic positions of standing up. We're going to do some drills to run you through it, and I think within an hour you feel kind of more comfortable on your feet. Right? We're not going to do any actual takedowns or anything, or any techniques. It'll be like your first. If I'm going to teach you jiu-jitsu, like on the ground, I will teach you about the guard and side control and mount before I ever show you what a choke is or something. Right? It's the same thing. So, right, where is it? So, what are you laughing at? Okay, so standing up, as I see, there are three things that's going to make you more efficient, strong. We're going to make things more easy, right? It's like, and it's pretty much the same principles as when you're on the ground. So, three things. One, posture. It's the same on the bottom. All jiu-jitsu is really posture. And posture is two things. It's one, keeping a straight, strong body posture. Right? That means don't do this. Like, for whatever reason, in the real world, if you lift something like this, right? If you move furniture for your grandmother, or you walk into a weightlifting gym and you start to lift something heavy like this, everybody's gonna come running and say, "Stop! Don't do it." Right? Your grandma would say, "Oh no, not really. Son, you need to straight back and do this, right? Lift with your legs." I mean, even my grandma would say that. But in jiu-jitsu, you see people do double legs like this all the time, right? And break their back. So for some reason, that doesn't really translate to jiu-jitsu. So a super important thing that you always try to do is to keep a straight back like this, right? And your chin up. That's super important. If you start to wrestle like this, you can get away with it. As I said, all these things are like kind of like they're warnings. It's not like rules. You can get away with this, right? But it's going to be more difficult for you. So you always want to try to keep like your chest forward, like almost like a statue. So everything you do is here, right? The other thing about posture is that, and this universal rule of jiu-jitsu, head is always over your hip. If at any point you find your head underneath your hip, you're not as strong as you could be, right? So if you want to be safe, which you want to be most of the time, always want to keep your head over here. Right? So, and that fixes everything in jiu-jitsu. Same if I'm in this guard. Whenever he want to try to sweep me in any way he possibly can, he needs to drop my hip and my head to almost the same level. If I can keep my head up and my hip down, it's way more difficult. Right? So everything I do to defend is always to look at where's my butt and where's my hair. Right? My hair is always over my butt. So that's your posture. So whenever you stand up, unless you're maybe out here and you can't reach you, then you can play like I want to look cool on Instagram jiu-jitsu kind of guy, right? Walking like this. But really, this is where you're strong, right? If he relaxes a little bit in his neck, and there's anything like this where I pull his head down, now he lost a lot of power, right? Why? Because his head is down at the same level with his hip. He's got two ways to fix this now. He needs to either lift his head, right? Or if he can't do it, drop his hip. Like that, right? So, but the easier way to defend him is just from the beginning to be strong, right? So his immediate reaction should be this, right? So we'll do a first little super simple drill, which is like almost stupidly simple. But all I'm doing is, now he's got good posture, right? If I pull his head down, he loses his power, right? So all I'm doing here is, when I pull, he needs to react in one way. So look up and walk his hip under his head. Right? So this doesn't happen. So when you do a simple drill, I'll just pull him down and he'll follow. Right? And we can kind of walk from one end to the other. And there's not more to this drill than this. All I want is to get some kind of little automatic reaction that whenever someone pulls your head down, you need to do this immediately. Right? If you relax your head or you do this, right, you're gonna be in trouble. So if that happens, I break his posture and I get a better position to take him. Right? So a simple drill, just grab someone, I pull like 5 times one way, like this, and he pulls me the other way. Like that. Look at what my hip is doing. I straighten my back and I move my hip on. If I don't move my hip, all my strength is here, right? So just go on. Right? If I pull his head down, he's doing it wrong. Super, super simple. Start with this. Just walk back and forth a little bit. Go. Standing up on the ground is always have a strong posture. Right? Whenever you find yourself doing this, you're weak. Or you find your head at the same level or even underneath your butt. Right? You can get away with this. It's not like it's a must, but you will always be weaker here than you will be here. Right? So whenever you're in trouble, whenever you feel something, the shit is about to hit the fan, you're about to get swept, taken down, anything that's about to go wrong, right? Your number one thing to do is always make sure your head is up and your butt is down and your back is straight. Right? That's going to save your ass from so much, especially in the guard where they try to sweep you and blah, blah, blah. All I'm doing when I'm in the guard is keeping my posture and looking at where's my butt and my head all the time. There's really nothing else to it. Right? To sweep or to take me down, he must drop my head or lift my butt. One of those two things. Right? So that's the first. So we have 3 things that's going to help you standing up. So one is the posture. Right? So you always try to be here. Unless you're 100% sure what's going to happen, which you're never. Right? So that would be never. You never do this. Right? Now the next thing is to know that the better positions are always on the inside, right? So no matter what part of the body you try to attack, the inside is the strongest. It's not like you can't do anything from the outside. Again, it's more like a warning than a rule, right? So you can do shit with outside grips, and by outside I mean you grab outside of his arms or his head or his body, right? So I can get away if you're maybe like an Iranian wrestler or something, you can have double overhooks and lift someone like this. But for us normal people, who are not like freaks of nature, you want to be on the inside of everything to attack, right? So the same with the head. You can grab the head and kind of hip throw, right? If he sucks, right? But you don't, or if it's a kid, but you don't really want to train to beat. You don't want to train to beat kids or people suck. You want to beat, the good guys. That's the idea of this, right? It's like playing. It's like trying to learn chess just to beat like people never played chess before. It doesn't make any sense, right? So all the control is on the inside. So depending on what grip I'm going to take, if I control the wrist, I want to be on the inside. By this, is just kind of my thumb controls the inside. If I control what's it called? Bicep behind the elbow. The elbow pit. Elbow pit. Does that work? Yes. If I control the elbow, I'm on the inside, right? If I'm on the outside, I don't have the same control. If I control the bicep, I'm on the inside. The grip looks like this. It's like a swan. Like this. This is what the control is. If he swims on the inside, he's got the control. Right? Inside. If I control the neck, we all kind of know this. This is what the control is. If he's on the inside, I control the neck. Right? I don't have any control here on his neck. Right? There's nothing. I lose all my power. If we go for the underhook, this is where I have the control. Right? Either low underhook or high underhook. If he gets on the inside of the underhook, he swims, now he's got the control. We all kind of know this. Do you know this, Sean? Okay. Good. So whoever has the inside, now we're 50-50, you have one inside each. Right? If I get 2, I have both insides and I win the position. Right? So the position while standing up, what you're looking for all the time is to control the inside. That's what we're fighting for. Right? So to set up a double leg from an outside position is pretty much impossible. Right? You can't do it unless you completely disengage. Or if he's here, he's got the inside control, and for me to shoot a double or a single, a body lock is not happening. Right? So before I look at any takedown, you can think submission, I need to improve my position. The better position is, the easier it's going to be to take him down. Right? So we're going to do, before we talk about the third thing, we're just going to do a few drills. And this is going to be the main part of the class. So we're going to go through a few positions that we're going to fight for. So the first is the wrist, right, and the next is the neck, inside of the neck, and the last one is the inside of the body. Right. There are more. We work on biceps or elbows, but they're kind of in between positions, not the main ones. So we'll just start with the wrist. So we go on 3 different distances. I'm going to go through some really basic drills, and what I want you to do is just relax and try to think of it as, you know, a little kind of give and take game. Right? We're not fighting yet. Right? So the first is the wrist. Whoever controls the inside of the wrist has the best position here, right? So to control the wrist, it's kind of simple. We do a simple game. We just stand in front of each other, posture. You gotta look a little bit like T-Rex, right? Short arms, like this. And why do I keep my elbows in? To protect the inside, right? I don't want to give him the inside. So elbows in. So we just go nice and easy. There's no resistance really. I grab something, right? Oh, he grabs the other. My arm. He grabs something. Now I've got 2 basic ways to break the grip, but it's always where the thumb is, right? So wherever his thumb is, that's where I need to go. I know this gets really basic, but this is stuff you need. So I can either rotate where the thumb is, or I can punch it up. And I punch where the thumb is. So now it's rotating a little bit, so I gotta go this way. It goes up, like this, I punch it that way. If you turn his hand, like that. See? So now he's gotta, exactly, you gotta pull it that way off. Either here or there. So anyway, he grabs, I punch it off. He grabs something, right? I rotate. Something. Oh shit. Yeah, you can do that. You can cross grip, cross grip, cross grip. Look where the thumb is. I gotta pull it up this way. Right? So what I want it to be, I want it to look a little bit like this. This game. Oh. This is what I want it to be. Right? I win. Okay. So what I don't want to see is this. Right? And I don't want to see this. Run away. Okay, I want you to play back and forth, nice and slow. And think about your posture. Okay, that's it. And that's really the game you just need to play a lot. And slowly you pick it up, and with time it just becomes completely automatic that you fight for the control first, right? Just try this nice and slow first. Go. Right, so that's the first distance. We're going to play 3 distances. So 1 is control the wrist. If I have the inside control, I can set up stuff. Right? I could set up a takedown here, but it would make more sense for me to set up a better position. Just like you can theoretically submit someone, not theoretically, you can submit someone from the side control, but it's more easy if you go to the mount first or the back. Right? So same here. I have the first position. I'm in half guard. Right? And from here I can use that to move on to a better position where I can get better submissions, takedowns, right? So, wrist control first. Whoever controls the wrist has a better position, right? Not impossible for him to do anything from here, but it makes it more easier for me. Now the next position is the body, right? So what do I control to be stronger? The inside, right? Underneath the elbows. That's why everything you need to do in jiu-jitsu to make someone weak is to open the elbows all the time, right? More difficult standing up because you can't really do this, but on the ground, whenever you can open this space and keep it open, everything's easy. That's another class. But I gave you the secret right. So, what's the position I can have? Double underhooks. Wonderful position because I control both sides, inside, right? Close my hands, even better. Right, so this is a wonderful inside position. So what's the neutral? We have 1 underhook each. Like this. We all kind of, I assume most of you know this game. This is kind of simple, right? So, 1 underhook each, good low point of gravity, straight back, strong posture, right? I don't want to work like this. T-Rex, like this, make my butt heavy. Now, if I go 2 under, I got the control. Right? This is going to allow me to do stuff to attack, take him down. Right? So what we just do for now is we just go like this, and just the first drill is really simple. If I got right underhook, I keep my right foot in front, right, to align my body better. This one, I'm going to grab it and keep it a little bit tight. Grab the elbow and tighten it in. Right? I don't want to lift this one up. Because even here with 1 underhook, if he's loose on this side, I might be able to open his elbow and attack. Right, and now right here, that's too much when he's lifting people. So 1 underhook, and I just squeeze this one a little bit. Right? Never open your elbows. Just keep it tight. And we just do the simple that I think everybody knows. I'll go this one. will attempt to take 2 underhooks, but he's going to do the same on the other side. Still neutral. Right? Move around a little bit. A little dance. Underhook, and go. So whenever he's trying to take the underhook, I give him a little bit of space, and I do the same. If I was sleeping and he took both, I lose it because he controls the inside, right? So we just start just nice and easy. I think you've all done this, right? Walk around. Put some pressure with the shoulder. Keep your weight low. Down. Keep your elbow tight. Good strong posture. Straight back. At no point will I stay like this and hang on. You might just sack me down. All right, let's try that. Nice and slow. So we'll just go to the last one, which is controlling the neck on the inside, right? Again, it's a crash course of 1 hour, everything you need to know in wrestling, so we gotta skip a few details, right? But you control the neck on the inside, that gives you the control. So this is theoretically the strongest grip I can take on the neck, right? And a few important details here are, if the higher on the neck I pull, the stronger I'm gonna be, right? So a common mistake is you grab the neck and you try to pull this way. If you posture yourself strong, like that, it's gonna be difficult for me to break this posture, right? So what I wanna do is instead of holding like this, I always want to point the fingers to myself, if I can. Right? So what I do is I point my fingers in, and then I try to put my palm where the little ball spot is, like that. Right? So you see the... It's nice. So if I pull the head down and he postures, look, like this. Right? I pull with everything. I have a pretty impressive bicep, but I can't even pull his head down. Right? Now, I turn my fingers in, and I put my fingers high, do the same. See? I have more, it's like magic. So that's the difference in power from here to here. Right? So what's important when you're on the inside is that your fingers turn in. Right? Because, okay, posture up. See, it's really difficult for me to break it. If this was striking, it's a good idea. If it's wrestling, it's a great idea. For guillotine, protect down. Right? Everything is good if I can drop his head. Right? Everything is bad for him if his head goes down. So that's the main purpose of my grip. So you can experiment a little bit. Try the difference. He's going to posture, I pull, and he's going to posture, I pull. Right? It might not magically work, but it's definitely going to make you strong. Try with 1 and try with 2. Posture. Like this. So you feel the difference, right? And you put you squeeze your forearms and you put your elbows right on top of the muscle, right? Like that. And you kind of want to imagine that you baseball choke. You try to choke him with the forearms, like this, right? If you ever did Muay Thai, this should be supernatural for you. If not, it might be a little bit. It takes a little bit of practice, right? Okay, so let's try that first. Just feel the difference between the grips. Go. That should be fairly good. So it's not like every single time you grab the neck, you have a perfect grip like this, but it's going to help a lot. So sometimes you grab here, and you feel like, oh, I might want to break his posture, then you move the grip a little bit. Right? That's going to make everything easier for you in terms of snapping his head down or whatever you want to do. Right? So, to get on the inside of the head, this is the best position. So just like before, if we have 1 each, we're neutral. Right? So the same, if I have a neck and he has a neck, we're kind of neutral. We've all been to beginner competitions where we both like this and just kind of try to throw each other around for 5 minutes until some guy pulls guard. Right? So, whenever he's just like here, if he's got the underhook, I have the option of swimming on the inside. That goes for all the positions. I can swim on the inside and I take the underhook, and that's just do one side. Underhook, you just take one like this. I reverse it by taking my underhook. Right? So the same here. If he's got the inside like this, I can try to go on the inside. It's a little bit more complex with the necktie because the elbow is kind of in the way if he's doing it right. So there are 2 simple ways that I like to teach people in the beginning. Let's just try to start with 2. This is where I'm really fucked. Right, this is bad. Why? Because I can't keep my posture. It's impossible for me to keep it unless I drop, go underneath, which is really difficult because of the forearms. So here I'm in big trouble. So 2 ways I can do this. Again, inside is strongest. Right, so I want to get back on the inside. So one way I do this, I take one hand on the inside and I push out his elbow just a little bit. It makes room for me to posture and go. He's not going to let go. Like this, I keep my posture and I go. Alright, so he's going to do the same. Push the elbow out. Cross push, like that. And stretch and posture up. Right? See the difference between doing this? I open. Imagine this too. I open and I do that. Or I open and I use that to posture and reach. Right? Again, I'm always strong here. So I always try to get back to this posture. Instead of trying to do things from here. Right, you want posture and reach. So let's grab it. One, open, and when you can, you posture up, and you go and take two. Right? That's one. So grab, open. This is not a trick. Push, and now this allows me to get my posture back a little bit. I grab, and immediately get a little bit of an angle, and I go to the inside. And you will do the same the other way. Two. And remember, John, when you open your head up. It's immediately going to make it more difficult for me to control the head. Right? Now the other way of doing this is if I can't get on the inside, I'll try to get on the outside. So I take one hand on the outside, both sides kind of work. And I put it on his shoulder, like this. This creates a frame where I can push and posture. See that? This frame is strong because it's attached. If I tried this, it would only be my tricep. I can't push. But if I fill the frame like this, I can use that to posture away. As soon as I got my posture up strong, I go on the inside and I take the position. Right? He'll do the same. One hand on the shoulder, posture first. That's it. Remember, anything you want to do, you need a strong posture first, right? Before you execute anything. You can't do shit from here. You're always weak. Right? It's like trying to pass from here. It's shit. Right? So you always want to posture first, and then you execute whatever you want to do. Right? So two things: inside, open, posture and go, or outside, hand on the shoulder, posture, and you posture by one, lifting your head, and two, moving your hip in, like that, and then you go on the inside. Right? Control. Rarely will you have double inside like this. It used to be one combined with another grip. Right? But you need to know this game first, right? Let's try that. Go. So number one, hands on the. My posture is fucked. Right? I'm in big trouble. I gotta go. There's no guarantee this is gonna work, but it's kind of like my last way out. It's like I'll teach you how to escape rear-naked choke. Doesn't mean you never get choked, right? Inside one hand, and I open up a little bit. And as soon as I open, I reach, and as I reach, do I look up or down? White or green? White. Like that, right? And reach. And now this one should be easy. Immediately, go. Inside and reach. Right? Inside and reach. So I don't punch this. That's it. Right? And the other one, if I can't get on the inside, if it's too strong, like this, I can try to go, just sneak it past his neck and hold his shoulder, like this. Not really his shoulder, more like his, what do you call it? Collarbone. Collarbone, like that. Right? And now this is going to give me, if I posture and push, this is going to make me really strong. Like that. Right? If I can manage to look up. If I keep my head down and I push off, it's only going to be my tricep. Right? But, so I need to use my posture to generate the power, like that. Like this, and as I look up and my hip is underneath my head, I'm strong. Now I go. Right? Can you do the same? Put it right, so you either push it inside or put it over the collarbone. Right, let's try it a bit more. Okay. Okay, so this is a very, very basic fundamentals of just 3 standing positions. Controlling the wrist on the inside, controlling the body on the inside, and controlling the head on the inside. Right? If you can fight for these 3 and defend these 3, you have a good foundation to begin with, right? As I said, there are a few other variations of grips. There are elbow control, bicep control, you kind of control the shoulder, and the inside can also be like a classic Greco-Roman underhook on the outside. But anyway, just worry about that. Wrist, body, neck. Right? This is kind of the main areas. So from here, what we talked about for now is pretty much only like double control. Right? So imagine this position, and this position. Right? In reality, you're going to combine all of them. Right? So it might be one head, one wrist. This is very common. One underhook, one head. Like this. Okay? Or any combination. Very often a head and a bicep, a wrist and a bicep, like this. So you don't always fight for the same in both sides, right? But that's going to come a little bit later. So what we're going to do now is a simple drill. We're going to add a little bit of resistance. And then I'll tell you the third point at the very end. So the drill is simple. I shout either hand fighting, fight for the wrist, or I shout underhooks, you fight for the body, or I shout necks, and you fight for the neck control. Right? Those are the 3 things. Now don't go completely apeshit yet. Right? I promise you, I will let you go a little bit harder later. But just for now, right, we start here. If I say hand fighting, we just stand here, don't move around too much, and you just kind of fight for the hands a little bit. Right? The most important here is that there's a little bit of resistance, but I'm not doing this, and I'm not running away. Right? I'm not if he grabs something, don't do that. Right? Just kind of stand here and go. And think of every move, right? Where's the thumb? Do that. Right? That's it. If I say underhooks, immediately, with no pause, we start fighting for the underhook. Right? If at any point he gets 2 underhooks, he just holds it, 1, 2, 3, and we reset. Right? Don't lift and dump me on the head. Right? Start here. If I say wrist hand fighting, immediately go to the outside. Don't forget your posture. Right? Don't start to stand like this. Strong posture. Because at any point, I might pop his head down. Right? He's got to be ready for that. How is he ready? With this reaction, immediately, right? Hand fighting. And what is really important is that if nothing is happening, I'm going to give him something. If I can't control him, a common thing is I can't get anything, so I'm just going to stay away. Right? I give him my wrist, both, and go. Right? Don't do this. Never disengage. That's the difficult thing to learn about wrestling, is that if you lose something, you have a tendency to run away and try to start over. Right? You have to be like a little, I try to teach my guys to be like a little dog. You know, he grabs the rope and it'll never let go. It'll take like more and more and more. So if I lose the position, that's not my time to go away. It's my time to just keep pushing forward. I might have a bad underhook, but you know, I can use something. Whoops. If you don't run away, right? So hand fighting, you fight for the hands. Right? Keep your posture. This is the most important. Don't give up your posture. If nothing is happening, I just give him my wrist. Here you go. That's it, and then we go from there. I say underhooks, immediately you try to get the underhooks. Right? Don't do this. Hand fight. Underhooks. Don't do that. It's never gonna happen like that. Right? You gotta go direct and fight underhooks. Exactly. If I say necktie, you go for the neck immediately. Right? And you try to get 2. That's it. Sometimes you're locked up on 1 each. You can pull 2, that's great. Say underhooks. Look at my posture, straight. T-Rex. Heavy butt. Next side. It's cheating, I know what's going to happen. Look at my posture. Hand fight. Underhooks. So, you see the game? You see how it's kind of relaxed? There's a little bit of resistance, but we give and take. Right? Don't do this. So we're going to start at that level, and then we build it up slowly. Okay? Alright, let's go. Okay, guys. So this is the foundation, the very, very foundation of the drill. And from here we kind of expand slowly, right? But this is the basic we're just going to do today. So a few things I noticed. One, don't forget your posture, right? Don't start to do this. Don't lift your grandma's furniture like this, right? Always have a strong back. Always look like a statue, like this. And, I mean, it's good in jiu-jitsu, it's good in life. You sit in front of the computer like this, or you ride your bicycle like this, it's a bad idea, right? Always want to have a good, strong posture. Yes. Remember, now we take a little bit further. Remember, as we're talking about, inside is where the control is, right? And I told you the little secret that all you need to do in jiu-jitsu is open the elbow. Right? You can't do anything. If the elbow is open, everything is good. Nothing is good if your elbow is up. Right? So what's this? Hand fighting, like this. Right? It's a horrible idea, because I completely open up the most vulnerable part of my body. Right? So if he keeps his elbows out like this, I dive for the inside control. I dive to the inside with the arm drag. I dive underneath with my head. Everything is possible. Right? All you need to do is this. T-Rex. Right? So you go a little bit tighter now, and you play with half arms. Kind of, right? You can open a little bit if you have the control, but you got to be aware that this is dangerous. Right? So if I feel some danger, that's what needs to happen. Right? Standing up or on the ground, elbows in. So same drill. I'm going to make the words a little bit simpler. I'm going to say wrist, body, or neck. Head. I say head. Wrist, body, or head. Right? So wrist, you fight for the wrist in here, and now you try to tighten it up a little bit more. Right? And of course, there's going to be more grip. Sometimes you need to control the hand, the fingers, all that stuff. Wrist. Body, right? Look how we're a little bit tighter, right? Don't open up too much. Make sure you make yourself heavy on him and you keep a straight back. Super important. Don't start to stand like this. Right? It's absolute shit. Straight back. And if I say neck, head. Look, as he's grabbing, immediately my reaction is here. Even if he doesn't have it yet, So if he gets it, right, I'm strong and I can go for it. And I say, body, put some pressure into it. Right? Use your weight a little bit. Okay, so same drill, but you try to tighten it up a little bit more. If you feel like you're fighting each other too much, you need to take a step back. Relax, start over, right? I will come and slap you if you do it. Let's go. Wrist! Hands are hands, man. Okay, wrist. Posture, straight back. Be nice. Look like a T-Rex. Body. Right to the body. Head, fight for the head. Posture up, eyes up. Don't look at the mat. They're ugly. Body. Wrists. All right, new partner, grab someone else. Body, underhook someone. Go, 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 go. Okay, listen, this is how it works. If you go with someone, and I say new partner, and I say body, you grab someone and you underhook immediately. Right? It's his job to defend it. It's not like, right? You run to the nearest person and you try to double underhook, right? And they need to posture and defend. Go. Wrists. Posture, straight back. Head. Strong neck, look up. Chest forward, straight back. Body. New partner, head. I said head. Head.
Oh, that's convenient. I get the topic.
Body. Wrists. Keep your posture, straight back. Don't look like a librarian. Looking like a statue of a wrist. Head. Body. New partner, body. Wrist. Head. Body. Wrist. Head. Everything. Do everything. Well, not that interesting. We'll just add a little bit more. I'm not sure what time it is, but we might add 5 minutes to the class. So if I say everything, I just mean all three things. I don't mean pull guard. A dog will kill a kitten every time someone pulls guard. So if I say everything, you can do whatever you want. You can control the wrist, the neck, the body, you can combine it. Right? Body, wrist, head, body, everything you want. Right? Or just go for these, or these. These are the three safe ones, right? Now we'll just add one last thing that's really going to make a huge difference. But you need positional foundation to get it. So we have three things that's going to help you a lot standing up. One is your posture. Straight back, head over butt. Never lift your butt over your head or drop your head under your butt, right? Really, that's key to everything. Next, inside is the strongest position, right? If he's much stronger than me, he might still fuck me up with some outside grip. I mean, maybe you grab my head and lift me or something, I don't know. But it's not the most efficient for him, that's for sure. Last thing is the head position. It's going to make a huge difference for how strong your actual position is. So if you have underhooks, necktie, wrist control, what really decides if your position is strong or not is your head position. So there's a drill, which we're going to skip because you're all going to get a little kind of a mark on your forehead. It looks, I mean, you can do this drill at home if you want. So the correct position for your head, the strongest position for your head is just underneath his ear, like right here. So if I can put my forehead here, this is where I'm strongest. So whatever position I have, let's say I have an underhook, like this. I have the better position, right? But what really makes this strong or weak is who has the head position. Right, so if my head is here, my underhook is here. I can do everything I want with the underhook. Right? This is where I can pull everything up. And it's super strong. If I have the exact same position, but he's got the head position, right, my underhook is kind of sucks. It's not that it's a bad position, it's still the better grip on this side because I'm on the inside, but the head position determines really what makes it, if it's strong or weak. Right? So what I want whenever I'm stand-up wrestling is I imagine I have like a little laser beam on my forehead that's always kind of searching for that spot. Right? It's always looking for it. At no point is my head not kind of doing this. It is always pushing into this spot. Right? And he's probably doing the same. So one drill you can do is hands behind your back, forehead to forehead, this, and then you kind of try to get the position. Right? And that's where you're going to get a nice group photo with everyone.
With the raisin.
Yeah, with the raisin on the forehead. We're just going to skip that drill. You can do it at home if you want. Put some, I don't know, some Vaseline or something.
At the bar.
At the bar, we'll do it.
At bartender.
But we'll try to add it into this. So, getting it, it's easier or more difficult depending on your experience level. What's most important is that whenever you go for any position, you always think about where's your head position. And the correct head position is this spot underneath the ear and kind of where the jaw is. My forehead will have to go up 45 degrees up into that spot. Right, so if I stand here with the head position is weak. Right? If I T-Rex straight back and I go up into it, this is super strong. Right? Anything that pushes down now is going to go all the way to the mat. I can feel it in my heels. If I don't have my posture, it goes in my lower back. Right? So I need to kind of build this frame with my body. You all see how this works, right? Now, do I need to look up or down? Thank you guys. I'll always look up and down. Right? And why is this important? Because unlike on the ground, where he's, there's one direction he can't move. It's down, right? So I can always create an angle on it. Let's say I pass a guard. I can kind of create a guard passing angle where it's difficult for him to defend. Because he can't go this way to reset the angle. Standing up, unless we wrestle against the wall, he's got motion all the way around. So he can't get that attack in. So the head position is going to do that for me. If I have the head position, all my weapons are kind of pointing this way. All his weapons are pointing that way. Right? That's why I'm strong. I can lift him easy. But he can't lift me from here. It's impossible. Right? So what does he need to do? What does I need to do? If he's got that, right, I need to make space and get the head position. I'm always looking for that. Sometimes you shrug the shoulder. Oh, sorry. Sometimes you got a frame here, right, to put your head in. But the head position determines if you got a good or bad position. So we'll do the same thing, right? It will be another class where we just actually drill and learn to detail spider, but you really need to think about that when you stand up. Where's your head? So you might think you have a great position like this, but he's got a killer head position. Right? And that actually, even though I have double underhooks, kind of ruins my power completely. If I can do this, right, he's done. I can just kind of, he just falls with nothing, right? So we're going to do the same drill, and if you can't get that, you take it. Remember the laser beam, looking for it, right? So we go hand fighting, I'm going to say wrist, like this, and look what we're going to do. Always look for this. Always be annoying with the head. That's what you're doing, that's nice. I say neck ties. What did I say, neck, head, something? Like this. Here with the double inside, I don't really need the head position because I'm square. And what I can do is I can put my head here to make it more difficult for me to lift this thing. Get some inside, right? You say underhooks. Look, I have an underhook, you defend it. Not with the underhook, with the head position, right? I see if I can get my head in. That's going to make things easy. Right? It's more complicated to teach than I can do in 1 hour, but just keep it in mind. It's going to make a huge difference on this. Right? To do the same drill, I will say wrist, body, head, or everything. Right? And you fight these 3 disciplines and all of them, and all the time, you're looking for the head. But first, just try to do this. Just stand and feel this. You grab something and you feel the difference. Right? I follow it. Right? He will take the head position, and I feel the difference in the position. I just follow the palm. And it's important, straight back and looking up. Right? So straight back and looking up, like that. Right? Alright, just try the position a little bit first, and then we do the last drill, and we're done. Let's go.